Welcome to your weekend focus for October the 22nd and the 23rd, 2022. We have so much happening in the sky today, and it's really moving us forward in a very positive direction. But let's start at the beginning. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Send it right back to you. We start with a beautiful Saturday energy of the 22 energy. So the 22 energy is um, a higher intuition, definitely a higher intuition, visionary thoughts. So today we can really, or this weekend, we can actually step into some powerful thoughts and using our imagination, growing our dreamscape into what we want to bring in and how to do that. If we look at the numerology of the day, it is the 29 energy. 2 plus 9 is an 11. So not only do we have a master number of the 22, but we also have the master number 11 working for us. So yes, we may be having bigger challenges in front of us today, growing experiences. Things just kind of seem to happen and we have to do something with it, make a decision about it. It's more challenging. It brings out our courage, it brings out our strength, but when we utilize those things in our life, successes can happen around each and every next corner. Every step could mean that step is the step that takes you to your best life ever, one step at a time. So the 29, especially when we get to an 11 energy from the 29 energy, it is definitely symbolizes a learning period in our life. So be open to learning and absorbing knowledge, taking in new information, seeing things from a different perspective. If we go to Sunday, we have the 23 energy. We know with the 23 energy that we are protected. We are being actually pushed into the safe ports in our life. So we know that if we go with the flow, if we follow our intuition, what feels right to us, honoring ourselves, that we will end up in a very safe port. We will end up, safety, protection, security, stability can come in quite easily under a 23 energy. If we look at the numerology of the day for the Sunday, it would be a 12 energy. Very different from Friday's 21 energy, because even though we end up both times at a 3, the 12 energy is more about pulling it back a little bit and thinking about the present, thinking about what we have control over, what we need to have control over, what we do not need to have control over, where we may need to surrender in our life, and definitely about experiencing being in the moment. Okay, so don't get too far in the past, don't get too far in the future, but rather be present in the moment and see all the miracles, all the magic that is present in your life. We have the sun in Libra for Saturday, but as we wake on Sunday, the sun will move into Scorpio, so there is a very strong energy happening for us, and the Scorpio energy is black and white. There's no gray, and we've just been going through this whole Libra, so Libra will be the last day of allowing the gray into our lives a little bit, sitting on the fence, weighing both sides, seeing the best of both sides, both arguments. But as we go into Sunday's energy, we will be wanting black or white. We will want to, dig under, to like scratch the surface, go deep to find the truth, to find fairness, and it's our primal energy comes out under the Scorpio energy. It really is a life and rebirth, or death and rebirth kind of energy. We don't want superficiality. We don't want, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, so let's not linger on the Scorpio right now. The Scorpio energy, let's turn over to the moon. The moon is in Virgo for the Saturday until I guess around bedtime. So we'll start to feel that movement over to the moon moving into Libra as nighttime approaches, and we wake up, of course, Sunday to the moon being in Libra. So we want to create the harmony, we want to create the beauty that will be part of the weekend because it is in the sun energy and the moon energy. But we're also going to start looking beneath the surface, for the truth, for the strength, and where to grab onto strength, to grabbing onto the truth. And not allowing those gray areas. If we have a gray area, we are going to investigate, we are going to research, we're going to gain knowledge in order to make the right decisions, in order to gain the truth and act from that spot. We have all kinds of stuff happening. Mercury's talking to Uranus this weekend, so that's going to bring in new and different ideas. Definitely walk around with a little notepad in your hand, or keep notes open on your phone in order to write down some of those thoughts, some of those ideas, because they may come into play as you move forward, especially once we hit the Scorpio solar eclipse, which is coming next week. So we are walking towards that. Remember, we are in full moon energy still, so it's not so much about beginning new things this weekend as in understanding where we want to move into new things this weekend. The sun is conjunct, I believe, with Venus. Yeah, the sun is conjunct, I'm pretty sure, this weekend. So that puts a light on our love relationships, on our finances, on our creativity, and really growing those things in our life. Mercury is also talking to Saturn, so it's a good time to study. It's a good time to make some of those important decisions or negotiate. Maybe it's looking at the long-term planning in your life, financially, in your relationships, in your work, in your career, in your spirituality. Saturn, I think on Sunday, it's actually when Saturn goes direct. And you know what? This is a time now when we're going direct with Saturn that we have matured in some way. We have learned some lessons in some way in order to move ourselves forward towards being more responsible, being more obligated to our path and where we want to go. And gaining the maturity of knowing that we're first. And I know that goes against all the teachings in the world. We're always supposed to be out there caring for everybody else. But you know what? You can't care for anybody else if you're not caring for you first. If you're not loving you first, then there's no way that you can love another greatly, because it's loving yourself first. It's taking care of yourself. It's admiring yourself. It's loving yourself. It's believing in yourself, having a confidence within yourself that really moves you forward, that you can change the entire world with your energy. So it all starts with you. So it's growing that sense of knowing of what you have responsibilities for, obligations, the things that you need to complete in life in order to create a world that is wonderful for you, your best life ever, but also it rubs off on everybody who is around you and everybody that you love. Venus then enters Scorpio, I think, right after that happens. So it has a talk with the sun, and then away it goes into Scorpio. So and that's when, then the sun moves. It's just wild energy up there. We will be feeling the transitions of change in our life, of wanting new things, of wanting to bring in more passion, more joy in our life. We don't want superficiality anymore. We'll crave meaningful experiences. We will crave intense. We want to feel it all. Okay, we don't want to just like something. We want to love something. We want to throw our passion, our desires towards it. And we want to grow it into something great and strong and meaningful and long-term in our lives. So that's beautiful energy. Venus isn't the happiest in Scorpio, but when we utilize that energy, we can grow our passions deeper. We can grow our relationships deeper. And it all starts with an honesty towards ourselves and what we love and what we want to bring in, what our passions are, what our desires are. Sun and Jupiter are also talking. It really brings in a confidence. It really brings in a optimism. There's a sense of pride about us, but don't get too cocky. Don't get too, I know it all and I don't need any help and don't need any learning experiences, because that's when the loss comes in. That's when you experience the, you might have wanted to know that though, kind of energy coming from the sky. So we want to stay open to learning experiences. We want to stay open to what makes us prideful and why, the why behind why we want the things in our life, why we are taking that step forward or that step away from certain things in our life, and understanding what it means for ourselves and the motivation behind it. I think Venus is also talking to Jupiter, so we may find this imbalance between the love we bring in and the love we receive, and it might start out a little bit more like growing romance and beauty around us, but it turns out to be a little bit more of a competitive energy. So watch as that change occurs, and the competitiveness, it's just because we need to remain humble in our relationships. We need to remain humble to an extent of our relationships, our knowledge. And once again, it's when you come off as the know-it-all this weekend, it works against you. So be more open. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So use your ears a little bit more and take in what everybody else is trying to say, what they're trying to do, and take that in as a learning experience so you can apply it to your knowledge. And yes, you want to interject your knowledge when you can, but you don't want to say it's my way or the highway. You don't want to say this is the only right way to go forward. This is the only next right step we can do. Remember, when we have Uranus in the picture at all, and Uranus shows up at the very beginning of our weekend, and that's mainly with Mercury. So the new and different ideas, we're not going to get new and different ideas if we are so intent that we are right, that we know it all, that we have the definition of what passion truly is, what love truly is in our life. So it's about keeping that door open. It's about keeping that window open. It's about taking in new perspectives and meshing them, molding them with your knowledge, your experiences, your growth. Okay, let's go to the cards here. I've talked far too much. Oh my gosh. The cards want to get going, so I better just cut them. They'll be flying all over the place for us. Okay, look at this. The Hangman shows up as our shadow energy for the weekend. So it is the 12 energy. We know that we will be experiencing the 12 energy on Sunday. So this is really about us being in the moment. Okay, here we are. The Hangman is hanging upside down. You would think that we would be twisting and turning, but no, we're very content. We are being in the moment. We are saying, okay, so let's look at life. Let's look at where I am. Where do I need to let go of control? Where do I need to surrender? Where do I need to go with the flow more? Be in the moment more. So this is a time when we can look at bringing in meditation or prayer or just contemplation into our lives in some way, in some form. This could be where we let go of certain controls in our life in order to put the focus on the things that we need to control in our life, the things we need to focus on in our life, where we need to put our words, where we need to put our actions, where we need to put our energy. So our first card out is, look at this, the King of Cups. The King of Cups is saying go over that list. Now remember, Saturn is going direct this weekend, so now we can really make that list and define our task and grow that strategy in a way that we couldn't before, because we were going through a learning experience of bringing in our responsibilities, our obligations. And this might be actually where you're saying, I don't need control of that anymore. I don't need to focus on that part of the world anymore. I need to focus it over here, because that is what's going to move me towards my best life ever. So dear old dad shows up, of course, to tell us to ask ourselves, are we happy within our job, within our careers, within our relationships? Are we happy with the money that we are taking in, or the money that we are investing? Or are we happy with our future goals and what we are putting in place for ourselves to walk towards? Are we happy within our own spirituality? Can there be changes made there in order to enhance? Maybe it's putting in a meditation moment in the morning, or a gratitude journal at night, whatever it might be for you. Maybe it's just having a talk with God, your angels, your spirit guides. The lovers are next. Look at this. It is really about growing. I mean, that Scorpio energy is going to come in, and especially Venus in Scorpio. That is about intensifying the relationship, the emotions, the emotions of love, of passion, of desire, and growing them deeper and stronger in our lives, making them a foothold, making them something that we can actually walk with a confidence, a knowing. So the lovers are here to tell us to embrace our relationships, embrace our passions, and to grow them stronger. The Hierophant, wow. Talk about the lovers and then the Hierophant. So that is your connection to God, your angels, your spirit guides, absolutely. But know that you have a God center as well. Know that you hold magic within you, that you have a strong intuition, that you have sage wisdom that you can connect to. So it can be a lot about learning how to connect with your higher self and letting that intuition flow into you, letting that knowing flow into you, so that you can make that first step the right step each and every time. So maybe it's becoming more prayerful. Maybe it's getting to know yourself a little bit more, or growing your confidence within, your belief within yourself, your talents, your abilities, the magic that lays within you. Now we have the Nine of Swords here. So there is worries, there is concerns. I would have to say probably the biggest thing that we need to keep mindful whenever the Nine of Swords comes out is to not write that script in your head of what's going to happen. Since we're in the weekend, we can be writing the script for Monday morning. Maybe there was some drama at work Friday afternoon and you were a part of that drama, and now you're all like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to talk about this, or I'm going to have to answer to that, or they're going to be looking at me this way. And we start to write those imaginary scripts in our mind, and we have these conversations that have never been before that really, and trust me when I say this, we start spiraling down that rabbit hole. We think of the worst possibilities that can happen, the worst thing somebody could say. We're shunned, we're alone, we're put in the corner, nobody wants to talk to us, be with us, communicate with us. We imagine all these things in our mind. And so the first part of that is your thoughts become your reality. So you are actually putting into place actual energy that is going to bring that into reality. So do you really want to create that reality for yourself? I would beg to think that you just may want the positive. So start, you walk into work and everybody's congratulating you and slapping you on the back and saying, good job. And I never would have been that upfront. And I'm glad you said it because we were all thinking it. Or, it needed to happen this way. And, you can't hold yourself at fault. Or, all of these things that they're saying to you that reaffirms that you were being you. And that's always okay. That you don't have to impress people. You don't have to have them side with you. It's about growing the belief in yourself. So secondly, when we are thinking thoughts of people rejoicing in maybe our actions or our words that we're dreading having to meet up with on Monday morning, there's a sense of confidence that we walk with, because we are creating that kind of person within us. Also, if you have a problem, give it up to God. Okay, it's amazing when we just say, I just don't know what to do here and I need your help. I need you to interject. I need you to change things in my life. I need you to whisper in my ear of what I'm supposed to do next. And then you go to sleep. Your subconscious actually goes to work all night for you. And that's why sometimes we can wake up in the morning and have that aha moment, that epiphany of, I know exactly how I'm going to handle Monday morning. So let the rest of your essence work for you, okay? And turn off your mind. Get a good night's sleep. Take some deep breaths. Relax, okay? If you want to, what you can do is you can inhale to the count of 3. Hold it for the count of 3, let it go for the count of 3. And then 4. and let it out for 4. And it's not so important that you keep holding it for the same count. Give it a moment or two before you actually do the release. Make it a very conscious effort. And then start breathing in for the count of 5. And then breathing in for the count of 6. And releasing, and just doing it very slowly. And you want to do number 5 maybe 4 or 5 times, and number 6 4 or 5 times, and see how far you get before you actually doze off. Because that does, when we start to do that, and especially if you might even want to exhale just a little bit longer, because what happens is when we exhale for a longer period of time, when we breathe in, our mind automatically goes, oh, it's sleep time. We need to prepare everything. We need to shut down over here, shut down that section, get that section up and running for us. It's just easier to step into the sleep patterns. But this is about small concerns, small worries that we seem to grow into these giant mountains that we have to climb. And if we're going to grow a mountain, then let's grow a positive mountain and use our thoughts to work for us, bringing in the positive energy, and invite in that positive energy, and watch how often it ends up being a more positive energy that you actually walked into. Our last card is, look at this, the Knight of Swords. Wow. We are getting ready to just yell charge. We are ready to jump on that stallion. We know that we have been walking through that thick forest. The path has disappeared on us. There were logs in the way, fallen trees, big rocks. There was even a stream blocking us at one point that we couldn't get across. And we had to detour, we had to back up, we had to go around. And so often our life feels like that we're just spinning our tires, or we're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And this card is saying, just wait, because what's going to happen is all of a sudden you're going to hit this clearing in your life. It's just going to be a total horizon for you. And you are going to jump on your stallion. You are going to raise your sword. And yes, you are going to yell charge. We are going towards an incredible, incredible new moon, solar eclipse energy in Scorpio. And Venus is right there in it also. It's about our passions. It is about our dreams. It is about our wants going forward. And with that Scorpio energy, we can get to the truth. We can get to the layers that we need to get to in order to make it the most incredible experience going for us. Let's get a mantra card. I know I had to talk with myself about this cold, and it has backed up. Hang on, let's get rid of the frog. So really, it's only like a cough or two a day now. So I didn't totally win the battle with having that talk with myself on how long this cold, and having a talk with the cold and how long it was going to last for me. But I think I highly got a lot of what I want. I can handle a cough or two every so often as I go through my day. It's that constant right. So that did leave as ordered. So that's a good thing. And you guys might think I'm a little bonkers, but you know what? Go a couple of years ago when the flu was just a flu, okay? And there was that 24-hour flu, okay? Where we would actually look at our watches and we'd say, oh, you know what? It was right after I had lunch. I just started to just go downhill. So it's about, 9 a.m.? I should be feeling good by this afternoon. Because we were told it was a 24-hour flu. Same concept. Just tell yourself it's a 24-hour cold. Okay, opportunity knocks, go for it. Opportunity knocks, go for it. We, once again, when I first started out, we're going right back to the beginning with Mercury there, talking to Uranus this weekend. We are going to have new ideas. We're going to have different ideas. We're going to see somebody knocking at that door, and do we answer it? Well, the card is saying go for it. No, we don't want to actually start new things yet. We want to wait for that solar eclipse to happen in our life and really move forward with a vengeance. So get ready for that. But opportunity, just don't slam the door. Just don't say, you know what, I know what I want to do, so I don't even need to consider that in my life, humor that in my life, think about it. No, don't even come into my life, because it may be the opportunity that you have been looking for, and it is disguised as maybe a negative in your life. So the only reason it's a negative in your life is because that's how you view it, as a negative in your life. But it could be one of the best things that ever happened to you, that little negative experience that really puts you on your path of transformation and bringing in your best life ever. Okay, where's our book? Here's our book. Let's find our book. And we got Opportunity Knocks. I just opened the book right up to that. So let's get the card in here for you. Where is it? There we go. Okay. New opportunities are coming your way, brilliant ideas, educational possibilities, new friends, expanding your potential and opening yourself up to the greater possibilities of life. Be a good team player, and you will gain the respect from work colleagues and peers. And you have good reason to feel proud of all of your achievements and attitudes towards yourself and others. Embrace any new endeavor with a raw creative energy. Go for it. This is the time to dazzle yourself. This is the time to stretch your wings and fly. And the mantra is, I am open to new possibilities to expand my potential. I am open to new possibilities to expand my potential. That is just the most beautiful kind of mantra to have as we are walking towards a solar eclipse. So there is your mantra for this weekend. And of course, it wouldn't be a reading without calling upon our animals. We'll see what shows up today to guide us in our path, to stand next to us, to help us. And we have the ladybug. And look what the ladybug is all about here. It's about good luck. You are a bright energy. Let worry go and happy, I can't read it anymore. And be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. Being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. So you are the good luck charm. So start raising your energy, feeling alive. You walk into an area and your vibration leads the way into the room. Everybody feels your excitement, your energy, your positive feeling, and they gravitate towards you, and it brings in luck, opportunities. Somebody who maybe wouldn't have talked to you is now talking to you, and it's just the door that you need opened in your life. And maybe you don't even realize it while you're talking to them. Maybe it's 2 weeks later they phone and they say, hey, you know, I just couldn't get over your energy and your knowledge, and our conversation was great, and I'm doing this, and I'd like you to be a part of it too. You just never know what one conversation, one event, one walk down the street, how it may transform your life completely. One moment in time. So the ladybug is here to say, invite in good luck. Know that you are your own good luck charm. We also have a lot of energy. We have Jupiter talking with Venus and the sun. So knowing that, we know there's good luck in the air. Now, we don't want to get over the top and overconfident and things like that. That can really go south with especially the sun talking to Jupiter and Venus as well, actually. So we don't want to get too, but we want to, you know, it's kind of like that humble confidence. You just know good things are going to happen to you. And if you keep walking the walk, those good things are going to show up more and more and more often in your life. And remember that like attracts like, love attracts love. So when you're giving out love, when you're giving out positive energy, that kind of energy comes around you and it stays around you. Okay? And remember, evil never likes to look at itself in the face. So if you just repel, say no negative energy this weekend, put yourself in that little bubble and say, protect me. Put those mirrors around you facing outwards. So if evil does show up, it sees itself, it goes in the other direction. It cannot stand to see itself. So it will deflect. It will go back from where it came from. But definitely you want those mirrors to surround you facing outwards, so that as love sees love, it wants to get closer to you, closer, and passion and joy and beauty. And so we have the ladybug here telling us that, well, what did it tell us? You are a bright energy, so be that bright energy this weekend. Let go of worry. Remember that we're sitting there and we're stewing and we're thinking about the worst possible scenario that's going to happen in our lives. Start thinking of it as the greatest opportunity that's going to happen in your life. Try and change your perspective, especially in the here and now. Maybe be more present. We have that 12 energy very strong and alive in our weekend this weekend. So we want to be in the moment. We want to be present. We want to live life to the fullest, one moment at a time. Feel good about being loving and the colorful you, and bless the world with color and good luck. So I remember Sylvia Brown, I think I shared this just the other day, but it came back into my head, so I'm going to share it with anybody who missed that one. Sylvia Brown used to drive down the street, and as she drove down the street, she would release silver columns of light behind her so that everybody that was driving through would drive through a very positive, spiritual, beautiful, uplifting energy. And everybody's day would be brighter just for passing the way she did. So, maybe just leave a pillar of light behind you with every step you take, with every turn in the automobile or in the bus route or in the transit, and allow that presence to just light the world up this weekend with your amazing energy, your amazing magic. And really think about where you want to go, the steps you want to take. The energy is changing. The energy is morphing, I hear, into something that's going to be very positive for more than a chosen few. Really, the energy for almost everybody is open to the magic coming into your life, the passion coming into your life, stepping into your passion, stepping into your deepest loves, and growing them in a way that just creates your best life ever. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.